passport offices are starting with existing employees. And so it's basically a pilot program where we're using existing employees 1 day a month at these locations. So the first Tuesday at this location, the first Thursday at this location, the second Tuesday at this location, the third Thursday on that location, that sort of thing. And that allows us to show Commissioner's Court, to show the county judge that there is this demand out there, even with our limited resources, so that we can be on a more full-time basis at these locations and then even expand to other libraries. We had to look at where the demand was probably going to be. And so this was our first step, was these first 4 offices. And based on how these offices do, we would like to expand elsewhere in Harris County. So for example, we know that in Clear Lake, there is a huge demand to not to have to go to the post office or drive downtown to either my office or the federal building to get a passport. And so our Freeman Library is inundated with requests for appointments, and they don't even need an appointment. They just want to make sure they can come to that location. So we could easily predict in the future opening 3 or 4 other county libraries that having a passport office in those existing libraries in the Clear Lake area alone. But down the road, I could see that Alief, for example, could probably use a branch. And Alief, because of its diverse population, we have a high Asian community there, a high Indo-Pakistani community there, and they would all benefit from being able to access passport services, especially for their children that are recent United States citizens. Katy in particular, in addition to Clear Lake, Humble, and south of Tomball, Cypress, because of a number of reasons. The energy corridor in particular. I'm a former engineer in the oil and gas industry, so I knew all these oil and gas industry buildings were out there, and they're more likely to send somebody abroad, especially on a last minute notice, to Azerbaijan, to Kazakhstan, to drill a well somewhere, and they'll need passports to do that. But in addition to that, we wanted to be far enough away that we were servicing Harris County in an area of Harris County that would be less likely to want to drive all the way downtown to our very first passport office, which you see behind me, here down at the courthouse at 201 Caroline. And rather than having to try to get somebody to choose between Spring Branch and downtown, or just north on Shepherd of 610 in Oak Forest in downtown, we found that people in the outlying areas had also equal demand for passport and would be more likely to take advantage of a satellite office. We wanted to have after hours to allow parents and students and people who are working full-time or in class or in college to be able to come down and get a passport without necessarily having to take vacation or take a sick day or take an absence from class. While we do get the residency question, the 3 most commonly asked questions are, do you take the photograph? And the answer is yes, we take the photograph. But you don't have to get the photograph from us. You can still buy that from Kinko's, from Walgreens, etc., naming some locations. You can buy them anywhere you want. But we also offer this one-stop shop service of being able to get the photograph. The other question is, what documents do I need to bring? Well, if it's a new passport, then you need to have something to prove your citizenship. For example, a birth certificate. And one of the major advantages of the district clerk's office is we're in the same building as the county clerk's office. So if you were born in Harris County, you can get your birth certificate from the county clerk and then come right back downstairs and finish your passport. And the third question is, what do I need to do if my travel is very close to my application time? And what we tell them is it really depends when they are traveling, but if they are within a few weeks or a few days of travel, they're better off going to the federal building and paying double the price so they can get an emergency, same day, next day, or 3-day passport. The advantage to the federal building is that if you did not know that your passport was expiring, or if you did not know that you needed a passport and it's an emergency, you have to make that funeral, you have to make that wedding, you have to make that business trip, then you're able to get that immediately at the federal courthouse. Whereas with us, it's about 4 weeks for a standard passport, and if you pay for the expedited fee, it's about 10 to 12 business days. So a common question is, well, do I need to bring my children with me? Do I need to have the other parent here or guardian? And the answer is, no, you don't have to bring your children. You do need to have ready-made photographs. if you're not going to allow us to take the photographs. But yes, you need to have the other parent or guardian there, or they need to sign a notarized waiver of the form available on the U.S. Department of State's website, releasing the other parent to get passports for the children without them being there present. Something that you can get while you're getting your passport is a new feature called the passport card. And the passport card looks like a driver's license. It looks almost identical to a global entry card. It's not global entry, but it allows you to have a secondary ID when you travel abroad. The ID was created for the purposes of truck drivers when they're going constantly across the border between Canada and Mexico, so that you don't have to necessarily carry a bulky passport on you. You can carry an ID that fits in your wallet. But you can also use it to get on and get off cruise ships. And most importantly to me, when I'm traveling abroad and I'm in an area that may be prone to pickpocketing, I can leave my main passport at the safe at the hotel and carry this passport ID card on me so that I have something to show the shops to get my tax advantages when I'm shopping abroad, or to just have something to ID myself to the authorities when necessary. And if that gets stolen, so what? It only costs you $20 from our office.